Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Tragic 2 Podcast. It's Dan and Sursh here with you. And this week, it is the summer while we're recording this, although it doesn't really feel like it outside much.
Yes, but I have an issue, a massive issue that I need to discuss.
Right.
Okay, that's happening to me. And I think we all communally in this room know all about it. Okay.
Sure.
And it's the bird shit that.
Stop.
Okay, so in the car park in my apartment block, right, there's a tree. And I don't know what kind of bird sits in that tree, but they wait until you're not around and they shit all over your car. Yeah. So I didn't really know about this because I don't remember ever parking in that particular spot, which is in the very right corner of the car park. But I did it the other day and I regret it because when I came out the next morning, my car was so embarrassing to drive that I actually in the morning had to go to a car wash before I went to any of the classes because I looked like a filthy bitch. In the worst way possible.
Poor Dave, when we were recording this in your house.
I feel so bad for anyone that ever parks
I was on
there.
the drive home and notification pops up and I listen to the thing and it's like, oh, hey, birds shat all over my car.
But it's not just, you think of bird shit and you're like, like we all get bird shit in the car. Like this will cover the whole windscreen.
Oh, yeah.
It is massive shit.
They are horrific.
Horrific.
And you know what? It's seagull.
Is it a seagull?
Because they spend their life eating nowadays.
But is it a seagull that's shitting on the car?
Yeah,
it must
has to be.
But it has to be multiple seagulls.
That has to be quite painful for them.
Like if you fell asleep under that tree and they shat on you, would that actually cause bruising? As in, it must be so hard and explosive.
They say seagull shit damages your paintwork on your car.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Because it happened to me the other day. I had to move my car out of the driveway because the way the cars fit in my driveway, I'm in the middle and my mom's on like a side that she needs me to be out. So I moved my car out and ridiculously under a tree until she left and I could put my car back in the driveway.
Yeah.
So gone in, I shit you not, a minute and a half had passed. Mom reverses out of the driveway, off she goes wherever she's going. And I went out then to get my car. And over the entire driver's seat window, just this big fucking dirty protest.
I think they do it on purpose.
They do it on purpose.
Like they wait for you to exit because if you saw them doing it, you could scare them off. But they know. And like they strike.
I've been in the garden cleaning off bird shit from my car and I've gone back inside to fucking throw all my shit away and I've come back out and there's more shit on the car there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, no. This is one of the other reasons I want to cull the gulls.
Do you know what? I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Before I would have said that's mean, that's nasty. Now I'm totally with you. But you know what I also have a really big problem with? Car washes. Because I said, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck this. I'm going to go wash my car. And it was like, what would you like? The premium. And I was like, what's the premium? And it's telling you all these things that's included. I was like, yeah, that sounds great. So I paid the 15 quid and I went through the car wash and I was there for ages. And I was like, oh, I can see it now, it's scrubbing it off. And I got out of the car wash, did not take any of that shit off.
That's ridiculous.
At all. And I was like, great.
I'd be fuming.
So I spent all of Friday scrubbing my car manually. Scrubbing it. Now, this bird shit, it's horrendous.
Yeah.
Big, thick brown.
Yeah.
And I'm there with my bucket of water. I was like, I hate them birds.
Yeah.
And car washes for robbing me. They did. But yeah, that is it. I am sick of birds.
Yeah.
And they're worse in the summer for some reason.
They are worse than the but that's like their sort of peak, attack people for food season.
I'd rather they ate all of my food than shat in my car.
And that's like they only become like that because for years people fed the seagulls, left food out, so they become more aggressive for food. That's what happens. That's what they're saying about the deer in the Phoenix Park. That if people keep feeding them, they're going to become aggressive.
Exactly.
They're
just taking over.
Yeah,
literally.
Seagulls
destroying
everywhere.
everything.
There was about 20. I was pulling into my estate earlier on after work, and there were 20 seagulls just standing there on the green across the road, and I was like, they're conspiring.
But actually, something you did over the weekend, which could involve a seagull if you let them. You ordered a takeaway.
Oh, I did.
And it came by drone.
This is the most amazing way I have ever gotten a takeaway delivered to me. So there's a company a company out in Blanchardstown anyway that do drone delivery service to the Dublin 15 area,
which is very cool.
And so there's only a couple of places on it, but one of our favourites, Boojum,
yeah.
And I was sitting there, I was watching the rugby on Saturday. I was like, I had come back from the gym only come back from the gym.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I could really like a Boojum now would be
A+.
king.
Yeah.
So I ordered my Boojum, got the ice cream with it because you have to.
You have to, yeah.
So so they tell you the amount of time that it's going to take, whatever. So I did the whole thing, and it says we'll notify you when it's ready for a delivery. Got the notification within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Your order is being finalized and is being sent to pack. So I was like, okay, grand. And then it notifies me again going, your order is on the way in like 2 minutes.
And you look up in the sky.
So I legged it out
Yeah.
into the garden because it gives you a picture. This is where it's going to be landing.
Amazing.
Right? So I'm out the back garden and I can see, like, literally, like I'd only just gotten the notification.
Yeah.
And I could hear the drone coming in the distance. And so it flies over the house anyway. It starts landing a bit, and I'm like, oh my God, this is actually deadly. And the big boot opens, and a string comes down with my order on it.
Amazing.
It's like, the Navy SEALs coming out of a helicopter on the string.
Except it's your Boojum.
On the string, on a rope. But except it's my Boojum coming down, and it's landing in my back garden like a paramilitary trooper coming down out of a helicopter.
You videoed this. I saw this, yeah.
And it was the coolest thing I have ever seen in my life. And it travelled really well.
What's to stop a seagull going, I'm in the sky, I'm just going to grab that?
Because it's in a boot. So this boot opens.
I get
and
you. But if you left it there now too long.
Oh, yeah, no, but you wouldn't be leaving a Boojum.
You wouldn't.
Oh, no.
They'd know how to open that bag. Oh, my God, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was deadly.
Okay, so it's
really,
it's
really
safe
fun.
from seagulls.
Oh, yeah, it's safe. And it's in this, like, the container that it's in, it's warm, so it keeps your food warm. So, like, it was still hot by the time it got there.
That is unbelievably
and I had
cool.
The best Boojum ever.
And it didn't spill nothing?
Nothing.
God. And you don't have to talk to anyone?
No, literally. It just, whoop.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And you don't have to tip it?
No.
Because you know the way you feel that guilt when they arrive with your food? Like that happened to me. I ordered a Chinese the other day, right? Same day as you.
Oh, yeah.
And he arrives with the Chinese, which was great. And then there happened to be a stray cat outside. So he asked about the cat. He was from Brazil. He told me he had a cat. We were discussing cats. And he was showing me pictures of it. I stood there for 40 minutes holding my food that he had delivered, having a chat about cats because I didn't know how to end the conversation.
Oh, dear.
Now, 40 minutes, I was starving. The food was going
thank you,
cold.
goodbye.
And I just didn't have it in me to be like, sorry, I'm actually going to go and eat this now. And we kept talking. And then at the end, I was like, he's waiting for the tip. You could see him kind of hanging around watching the phone to see, is she going to tip me? And I did, of course. But like the pressure. So not only did I have 45 minutes with cold food waiting, trying to chat to him, and then I had to tip him, you have a drone that you don't have to talk to.
Yeah.
Love
brilliant.
It. Yeah, that is good.
Really, really is cool. So fair play to them. So this week's episode, so it is, as I said at the start, it's summary.
Yeah.
Everybody's making wedding plans.
I was going to say, everybody's committing.
Everybody is committing. Full committal season.
It is always wedding season in summer, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just seems to be that time. Even though, personally, I don't think I'd want to get married.
You're not really going to want a wedding in November.
But it's very hot. Not in Ireland now, but a lot of people getting married abroad. It's quite hot to get married in the summer.
Yeah.
Like I've been to so many summer abroad weddings and it is hot. Like your makeup's stripping off, you're in bits. Like.
So what we want to talk about is how to navigate wedding season. So whether it's a wedding that you're going to in Ireland, whether they've decided they're going to have it abroad, what you do around it. Do you go to the hen? Do you go to the stag? Do you do the, whatever? Because there are, like, a wedding, especially if it's abroad or somewhere where you have to travel to,
Yeah.
requires extra.
Oh, yes, it does. Definitely.
A lot of extra, particularly if it's abroad.
Yeah.
And you have to think, okay, well, is there any way that I can sort of make a greater holiday out of this experience? And then it's sort of just, it starts becoming more expensive then. And it's like, oh my God.
It is expensive, but it's worth it. In my opinion, I think an abroad wedding is the way to go.
Okay, but you see, here's the question. So you go to a wedding here and, you know, you're at the afters and whatever, and you give the envelope with the card and the money.
Yeah, which is usually what you do. Yeah.
You told me recently that you were at a wedding where somebody gave a rather unusual present.
Yeah. So, okay, you know the way you think about weddings and you're like, oh, is there a list of presents they want or cash? Nobody wants a bloody present. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
they want
just
their wedding
don't.
paid for in return.
Exactly. They want the cash so they can do whatever they bloody want with the cash, right?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of people have asked me before, going to different weddings, what should I get them? And I'm like, give them money. Even if it's €20, give it to them. Don't buy them a bloody present. Like,
here's one of
nobody
the
wants
bottles of wine that you serve me.
Yeah, no. So anyway, this one wedding I was at, the couple asked for cash. Which is fine. I mean, that's what you should be given anyway. They shouldn't really have to ask.
Is that
for it.
cheeky?
To ask for it? I mean, I think people try and pull a fast one by giving you a gift, and if you don't want the gift, just tell them you want the cash. They paid for your meal.
Yeah.
They want it back. I know it sounds really strange to do that, but look, that's the way it is. Anyway, this one couple had asked for cash specifically, and I'm in the car driving this other couple to the wedding venue, and I was like, what's that smell? And it was cheese, and I was like, why do they have cheese with them? In Ireland, it's like one night, and they were like, oh, that's the present for the bride and groom.
They got them a cheese board
from France. They flew cheese back from France on a board.
Oh dear.
And they left it in the car because we forgot. We were getting our stuff out. I was shocked at the time. We were getting our stuff out, getting into the hotel. The next day, getting into the car, the smelly cheese was left in the back seat. Sunny day. It had heated up. Like,
shit.
They took it out and they gave it to them. They gave them the cheese.
The melty, gammy cheese.
Yes, that stank. And that was their present.
No.
Like, I'd be so offended.
You
like,
would
I'd rather
be.
just don't give me any present.
Yeah.
I don't want your moldy
Just
cheese.
fuck off and never talk to me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Disturbing. But yeah, I think the wedding gifts thing is really hard. Like, how much do you give?
Yeah.
Is it a good friend? Is it an acquaintance?
Is that how you measure the money?
I think it is.
Yeah.
But again, everywhere says different price. Like, you never really know if you're given enough.
So here's the thing. So I've been invited to one or two weddings abroad.
Yeah.
And for one reason or another, never made it to them. The work, couldn't get time off. Money is always a fucking huge thing with me, because if you're going abroad, you have to have the money to go abroad.
You do, because you're usually paying for accommodation.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
stuff.
So, unfortunately, like these people are, mean a lot to me and whatever, but I just, for one reason or another, just couldn't make it. But if you are in that camp that do manage to go and make it, and you've spent hundreds and hundreds of euro going to this thing, is that enough of a present? Your presence?
No.
Your presence as the present?
No.
That you've made all this effort to go and celebrate your friend's special day?
No. Absolutely not.
Why?
Like, I know you're sitting there going, it's unfair, but like, this is your friend.
If you spent €1,000 going to a location.
Okay, if it's a good friend, if it's not a good friend, you're probably not going to go anyway. Do you know what I mean? You're going to come up with an excuse if you didn't want to go. If you have a really good friend and you're like, I'm not missing this for the world, I'm going, you will set aside. It's usually, they usually give you enough time to like save and all the rest of it. It is expensive. You kind of make a holiday of it. But that is not the gift. You arriving, they're still paying.
My presence.
They're still paying for your food over there.
Yeah, okay,
you
but you knew what you were getting into when you were booking this.
Yeah, but it does filter out the ones that are probably not that arsed. Do you know what I mean? For the most part, I know some people can't go for financial reasons or other reasons, but like it does kind of take away the people that you have to invite just for the sake of inviting because they won't go anyway.
Yeah.
You know? And I think in that sense, then it's worth it. And it's much cheaper apparently for them to get married abroad.
Okay, so why do they need my money?
Because you're celebrating their lives. And
I am celebrating.
Hang on.
And I have come all the way across Europe with them to do it.
I know people divorce these days and it's much more common than we know.
Could you go after the couple then? If they divorce in a couple of years' time,
say,
can you go,
"I want my money
sorry, I gave you money for that wedding?
I've actually never been to
A divorce
wedding
party.
that they're now divorced. Have I? Oh no, I have, yeah.
Oh, have you?
I've been to there's one couple yet that are.
Oh wow, that didn't last long.
No, it was like 2 years.
Oh wow. Oh, 2 years.
Yeah, I think they pushed it to 2 years just for the they.
How long were they together before that?
About 10. I did hear though, getting married is like a big deal. If you're together for 10 years, you might as well just stay.
Yeah, together.
Together, but not get married.
Oh,
that that can really fuck that up. But so say your friends, right? They're usually getting married once.
Yeah.
It's a big occasion for them. It means a lot to them. They are your friend. You love them loads. So you give them a present. You give them some money.
Yeah, but what if you're friends with like Ross from Friends and Ross has 4 weddings and
like that's the thing. So I haven't had a wedding in a year. Prior to that, I had 5 weddings in a year and a half. And all of them were abroad.
No, but like if it was the same,
that was expensive.
If it was the same person,
no, come on.
If you were going to your best mate's 3rd wedding and you're like, here, would you fucking cop onto yourself?
Yeah, like I think at that stage they're taking the piss as well. Like they don't.
You're not getting money this time.
It's just a night out. But when you do have a lot of weddings in a row, that is hard.
It is hard.
You know what I mean? And it is expensive. Like we have been in that situation where we've had friends that are getting married and
so this whole thing of okay, if you're doing the wedding abroad and okay, that in itself, as you said, is filtering out the people who wouldn't have gone.
Yeah.
Is that maybe where the kind of whether you're a lad or a girl, obviously it differs because obviously the girl has the hen, the lad has the stag. Is that where the hen and the stag is the bit to go to? If you're not going to go to the wedding, then go to the stag or the well, I suppose you'd only be really going to the hen or the stag if you were like really good mates.
That's what I mean. I think most people that are going to a hen or a stag are going to the wedding.
Yeah.
You wouldn't really bother going to the hen otherwise. But like the hen, like if you're having an abroad wedding, usually the hen is more low key.
See, I've been to 2 stags in the last year that unfortunately I haven't been able to make the wedding. Yes,
and they were interesting.
They were very interesting, very good stags.
Yeah.
Excellent stags. But it's like I felt weird because it was like, everybody else in the group was going to the wedding and I wasn't, and I really, really felt awkward about it. And I went, fuck.
I know, but it's probably better that you turn up to a stag than not go at all. But have you ever been a groomsman?
No.
Never?
No.
Okay, so you haven't had that responsibility.
I have a feeling there might be one coming up.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility.
So,
like you're organising the stag, like you would have to pick the location.
Is that not the best man, or is that different?
You see, the groomsman, the best. Like they're all in the same
category.
You're all doing bits and pieces. Do you know that kind of way? So you'd still be. You could be taking the money. You could be booking the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you need to.
So it's all on you to.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a lot of pressure, but it's great fun. But I have been a bridesmaid 7 times.
Oh, good Jesus!
7 times, which says a lot, doesn't it? It says a lot. I'll never be a bride. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
It was the thing I sent you on Instagram there a while ago was that the only aisle I'll go down is the wine aisle of the supermarket.
That is true. That seems to be the case. Yeah. I'm obviously just a really good bridesmaid. Most unorganised person of all time. But I'm a great friend.
Can't make the podcast on time, but I'll be your bridesmaid.
But I'm a good friend, okay? Underneath it all. But yeah, 7 times.
Wow.
Which, it is kind of wow, isn't it? But I love it.
I'd hate to be trusted that much.
But it's not really... Okay, in all the cases, I wasn't So they're like the best
You
man.
weren't trusted.
No, but like the best man, there's the chief.
You just got it on merit.
There's a chief bridesmaid. There's the one that's like the really important one. Now, I was never given that title in any of them, right? So I was always a bridesmaid, wasn't ever the chief bridesmaid, which is usually the person that kind of calls the shots.
Yeah.
Usually. Now, a lot of times
We're doing this, we're doing that.
it doesn't happen, and then you
Yeah.
have to kind of deal with the stress of it all. But you're just trying to keep the bride calm, give her the best time.
Tell her she doesn't look fat in that dress.
She never does. She would never, you know? Everything's perfect. and
Even
you
if she did.
You deal with all the problems on the day then, you know?
So you obviously have to go and do the dress shopping with them.
Well, not necessarily. I haven't actually done any dress shopping. Like usually girls tend to do that with like their mom or their sisters and keep it kind of like a media family. But you're in charge of kind of making sure, say on the day when she needs to go to the toilet, you need to lift that dress up.
Oh, God.
You need to be able to do that. And
This is where being a lad is so much handier.
it's so much handier. Or like make sure that everybody's in the right places and they're
Sorry,
doing the
best
readings.
man, I have to go to the bathroom. Will you help me?
Yeah, you don't have to deal with any of that shit. But like making sure that everybody's card goes into the same place.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing worse than something missing or, you know.
yeah.
So there's usually someone assigned to do that kind of stuff. So you're kind of on duty
Yeah.
and then you lose your mind.
Do you have to
afterwards.
then take record of who gave what?
Well, I didn't. I wasn't in charge of that for any of them.
So
thank
is that
God.
a thing?
That is a thing, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That is a thing. Because all that happens, or all that would happen is someone like you saying, oh no, I gave a card. And then
they're
they
like,
don't have it.
no, sorry.
And they're sending out their thank yous and they're like, but we didn't get that. So,
Shit.
yeah. It's a horrible
Oh,
job.
that's awkward.
Because, people give cards at different times. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's the boring kind of stuff. But then you just lose your mind. You lose your mind at the end. Which
And
is great.
so
It's worth it.
is like, okay, how much then? How many of the hens had you been responsible for organising? All of them, I suppose.
Well, my sisters mainly.
Right.
That was during lockdown, and that was really hard trying to organise that.
What did you do during lockdown?
We went on a boat trip and it was freezing cold. It rained. We went for
Oh,
lunch and it
that's
rained and we were under a gazebo. It was a
terrible.
lot, but we just drank and it was fine. Everything was
Suppose you
great.
could do nothing else, really.
We went to a hotel for the other sister. I mean, like they all kind of worked out well. But like a lot of the time the bride doesn't know what they're in for.
Right.
So you imagine a surprise
Yeah,
that you
it's the
know
same
is
with the
coming.
stag, yeah.
You get really excited and then the fear of it not what you wanted. Oh, that's...
There was a stag I was at
hard.
recently, and we put him in, like, he had no idea. We put him in a Just Stop Oil t-shirt
Oh, yeah.
and made him march around Galway. And there was...
I just don't get guys, right? Like when you think about the difference between girls and guys, like the girls, it's like give them the nicest time. They're telling you what outfits they're going to bring. You tell them to bring a dressy outfit.
Yeah, but
and
then
like,
you bring a giant inflatable dildo.
you don't though. You don't anymore.
What?
That's all tacky. We don't like tack anymore. But the stags seem to still be, let's bring the...
Lads.
Yeah. Let's tie him to a pole and like torture him for the weekend. I just don't understand it.
Yeah, so the first night we actually sent him because he's a Leinster rugby fan, and we were in Galway. So we decided it'd be great crack to put him in a full Munster rugby kit.
Yeah.
Which he obviously hated, and the Connacht people hated because they obviously don't like Munster. So we marched him around and we gave him a scrum cap and all to make him look like an even bigger idiot. And then the next day we put him in a Just Stop Oil t-shirt, and which was garnering a lot of attention around Galway.
As you can
There was a
imagine.
musician playing at one point in this. I can't remember what part of Galway we were walking through.
Probably Shop Street.
Probably Shop
Yeah,
Street. It
yeah,
actually
yeah.
was Shop Street.
Yeah.
And he was playing, and I was going, okay, you have to sit down in front of the musician and protest.
Oh no. Did he do it?
And then there was another further down Shop Street. There was a kid doing football demonstrations, and I was like, you have to steal the football.
Did he do it?
Kid.
From the kid? Did he do it?
We gave it straight back because there was a dad about to absolutely burst him.
Good.
So,
Like, don't mess with the
so
kids. for God's sake.
straight away, no, give the kid back his ball. Run.
Oh my God. Like, I just don't understand. You should be having fun.
That was fun.
That's fun for you. It's not fun for the groom.
That was fucking great fun.
So strange. But have you ever gone on a stag where something has happened?
Like,
Like,
oh, that he's cheated.
oh yeah.
Oh no.
Because it's their like final.
Oh, it's their final bit
It's their
of
final bit of freedom, as they say. That's a horrible saying. It's just
before
not
he
true,
gets
obviously.
tied in.
But yeah,
No.
you know how you hear stories, especially when people go to places like
No, very well behaved.
like
Other
cities.
than no.
you haven't heard like strip clubs and stuff. See, I'm glad that's all done now. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem to be the case anymore where you're dragging.
You're
Yeah.
dragging your mate to a strip club just for saying no.
No, which is good.
Another stag I was at. We went to London. Dan Stag. Hey
Yes.
Dan. And we were in London. We went to a baseball game. We just got absolutely fucking lager-faced drunk. There's nothing really much other to do with that.
Because I heard a very interesting story. A friend of a friend, thank God I can say that, not any of the weddings I went to, a friend of a friend, she was saying at her hen, right, the bride went missing. The bride went missing.
Uh-oh.
And somehow managed to find a stag party and got with the groomsman.
Oh.
Yeah. And spent the night with him. So missed a night of her own hen because she got
go off with somebody else.
so drunk she ended up. And to this day, apparently the husband never knew.
Oh dear.
That's bad, isn't it?
Oh, that's terrible.
That is
I hope
terrible.
they never don't listen to this podcast.
I don't know who this person is personally, but I know of them.
Like, there's a lot to navigate.
It is a lot.
There is a lot.
But then again, like, you think it's such hype for one day and then the
And
party's
then it's
over.
over.
It's over.
It's a bit like Christmas.
It is at Christmas.
All the fucking build up you do for Christmas, and then like you're sitting down, your stomach's about to burst out of your jeans, and you're like,
and then it's January and you're like,
I'm
depressed.
looking at this Christmas tree, going, all right, so we take this down then.
Yeah. Like then you're just married. Then you
Yeah.
just have to deal with day to day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're married, and not knowing if you've conceived a child overnight.
Yeah. I love that that's what you thought of. But it is funny that I think a lot of the time, like the hype is bigger than the commitment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
what am I wearing? Like, what's the venue going to be like? The pictures, all of that. And it's like, at the end of the day, you like, really? Would you get married?
Is it material?
That's what I mean. Would you get married down the road, with no money?
Because if I got married, like, I wouldn't want, the big, massive church, the gigantic hotel. Like, I would be happy to get married in the registry office with the people that I care about the most.
Yeah.
I don't care about fucking John and Mary up the fucking road that
But that's the thing. Like, I'm going to out my mother, right? When my sisters got engaged, I remember her being quite upset that they weren't getting married in the local church. And I remember asking, but why? And she was like, well, I'm going to change names here. Mags won't be able to go and see her in her dress.
Fuck Mags.
Like Mags that lives up the road. I'm like, she doesn't care if Mags is there. And Mags is only there because she's up the road. But that was like the important thing. It was like, it would be really nice for her to have it in the local church, even though we're not religious. We don't go to mass.
Yeah.
Why would she do that?
Where was the wedding?
So they ended up going abroad and they did a civil
yeah.
ceremony, So they got married in a registry office here and then they went abroad.
See, like, I'd just rather, just have the registry office again with the people you love, and then, hire out a fucking, a room, a function room in a hotel. Not even do the massive meal. Just have a fucking DJ
have fun.
and have like finger food. Because do people really care about beef or salmon?
Can I just say, most places you go in a wedding venue,
Yeah.
most places, not all, I've had delicious food. The stereotypical hotel, the food is not great.
No, it really
not great.
isn't. No.
It's
actually
rubbery
trusting.
beef.
Yeah, you're trusting organizing the wedding that this food is going to be like fucking Gordon Ramsay came along and fucking made
But
it.
they're paying per head. So
Yeah.
whatever is, I think it's,
And
what did they say it works out at? Something like €60 per head or
Something
something
like
like
that,
that. So your minimum should be, actually maybe it's more than that.
could be
Maybe
more.
it's closer to 100 each.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you should be getting a bloody good dinner for that.
Yeah,
And you're not.
yeah. Because you don't know where they're ordering the meat from.
But it's like the radio awards. Like the food is grand.
It's
It's similar.
it's carvery.
It's carvery, but it's grand carvery. It's not a great carvery.
You're probably pissed off your face anyway and don't notice.
Exactly. And that's what happens.
You get your funeral soup and your main course, and that's...
The best wedding I was ever at, right, was one of my friends got married. They did the whole dinner thing and that was fine. But at the end of the night, when everybody's dancing and it was coming towards the end, you were starving. You know, when you're at that point where you're like, you could eat
and
again.
you have the extra bits.
No, what she did. She brought out potato sandwiches.
Oh, yes.
Potato sandwiches.
All there.
Mini burgers. And I was like, this is heaven.
Yeah. I was at another one of my best mates, actually, it was the one that you were at with me, Kieran's wedding.
Yeah.
And again, the day was absolutely beautiful. The venue was beautiful. The food was beautiful. We had a great fucking time.
We did.
And then, like, as you said, right at the end, outside, there was this table being set up and you got yourself a little cone around, like, that size, and in it was, like, goujons and chips. And it was just the most fucking... Because I was
good.
sloshed.
Yeah. You needed that at the end.
And I absolutely needed it.
Yeah.
It gave me life.
That plus...
So it's the extras at the end.
His wife really nicely thought of the girls' shoes and had flip-flops in the bathroom for us.
Really?
Yeah, so at the end of the night when your shoes from dancing, you were in bits, you stuck on those
stuck
flip-flops.
on the flip-flops?
Now, of course,
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't. I was just in agony the next day. I forgot. But yeah, such a good idea. But those little things make such a difference.
Yeah. So whose responsibility is that then? That's
usually the bride is usually on the ball there.
On the ball.
Yeah,
Okay.
but she'll probably ask the bridesmaid to make sure that's there.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah.
Jesus, that's a lot.
It's a lot of effort for one day.
Yeah.
That's why I think if you do have it abroad, you usually have a day two. Day two is huge now as well. Like it's...
Oh, yeah. So sorry.
And
like
you're
this.
so hungover
Yeah.
that really nobody wants to be there,
No.
but you have to kind of do it anyway. And when you're abroad,
Do you
it's
have
fine.
to do the day too?
They don't tend to do it that much here. Like
Yeah.
if you're in Ireland. But abroad it does happen, yeah.
Okay.
It does happen. It's a lot
Can
more
you not
relaxed.
just sit in your hotel and just die for the day?
I mean, that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
You really do. Like in every wedding, I've just been
And
vomiting
just
my
like
guts
the
up.
thought of another drink just fills you with absolute dread.
Yeah, but then you drink it and then you're back on it. You know? You're back on the horse again.
The best
It's
hangover
fine.
cure is another drink.
Exactly. Yeah, the day two. But the day two is like really expensive as well.
Yeah.
Like they
So
are.
what does that? Because I've never been on a day two. What does that consist
So
of?
usually it's a lot more low key. So they might rent out a
I
venue.
sound like a fucking loser here.
Yeah, you need to go to more weddings. They usually rent out a venue, or maybe they'll just meet up at some bar or whatever, and you'll kind of just chill and drink and get a bit of food.
Yeah.
But it tends to turn into another night out. Like it's heavy. It is heavy. But again, if you go away for a week, at least you've got usually a few days before the wedding. Then you've got your few days after. So it's a nice kind of thing to do. But I think here a day two, oh, it's a killer. It's a killer, you know. Expensive.
Yeah.
But like a wedding on average costs what a car would be.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Easily.
Like so, like, and I guess okay, and I'm not. Maybe material was the wrong word to use, but obviously, look, people have. People, I know people have had their dream wedding in their head since they were like yay high.
Yeah. Now
Their absolute dream wedding.
I haven't. Like again, you're saying to me, would you? I would like to get married, but I don't think I would want a
day.
big, massive wedding.
Yeah.
In saying that, I love a lot of people and I'd love them to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So I say I want it small. The amount of people that I probably want there will probably turn into this massive thing. But I'm not into the whole like flash. I want it to be really expensive. Like I'm not at all like that. I would prefer it more low key.
Yeah.
But I do think going away is the answer. But it doesn't have to be somewhere expensive. You're guaranteed sunshine and it just makes it all the difference.
Yeah, but
And by the way, if I'm getting married, you're going. You don't have a choice. You are going.
sorry, I can't take that. They won't let me date the day
Sorry,
off.
I can't get that time off. You don't have a choice.
10 years
You will
in
be
advance. Sorry, no, I don't have the day off.
Look, if somebody ever marries me, you're going, right? You have to go to celebrate this.
As proof that you've gotten
Prove-
married.
And to be like, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Both of you.
R.I.P.
Both of you. I am so sorry for your loss.
So you'll be there with bells and whistles.
The notification for your wedding. The notification for your wedding will be a message on RIP.
Yeah. And you'll have to organise the hen. Literally.
fucking hearse rolls up outside the church.
I'm not getting married in a church. Don't be so silly. Jesus, no.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, but again, it's a huge amount of planning for, as you said, that just, hey!
Yeah. Huge amount of money, huge amount of planning. Is it worth it? And then getting divorced.
For this kiss that you have to do in front of everybody.
Yeah, but if you had to spend all that money, all that time, all that energy, and then you get divorced, like you just hate yourself. Like that would be so infuriating. The money that you could have saved.
Yeah.
And spent on yourself.
Oh, 100%.
Instead, you just spent on misery.
That's what I'm in for life. I want all the money for me. And if I do get married, it's going to be something fucking small with a DJ. Dave is going to be my wedding DJ.
Let's go.
Yes. Actually, do you know what? That's a really good idea. Dave, you're my DJ too.
Yeah.
So you're coming abroad as well.
Yeah.
And he's going to bring his child.
And Dave's
who I want
kids
to
will be the support.
Yeah.
The support act for Dave.
No, be the page boy and the flower girl. Perfect. We have it all sorted. Can't wait.
Let's go.
They're already booked.
Any takers? Anyone?
Anyway, get onto our Instagram page at Tragic2Pod. Follow us as well on YouTube by the same name. A Podcast Geek has produced this. Dave has produced this. John has produced this. Everybody's produced it.
Except for us. Okay, bye.